Hello, I am Cherish Billings. I'm in 7th period, and this is my final exam for the spring semester. Sorry if you hear water in the background. I have a pet turtle. So for my TED Talk, my TED Talk is over my social change topic, which is abortion, or abortion rights, or the rights that women have when it comes to abortion. I chose this topic because it is something that I feel strongly about, because I think that women have the choice to their own bodies, and it is also a bigger issue than many people tend to believe, because people don't really think about it unless they're in the situation. And I really want more people in our society, or at least in my community, to more understand the topic and know what happens around it. So this is an issue all across the United States, including every state and city and county, pretty much everywhere. It's even all around the world. But my main target audience is just my community as in Round Rock. At least as a starting point, I don't think it would be very smart to start out trying to target the whole state or the United States, because it is a very touchy subject and people do feel strongly about the topic. And so I think it would be hard to get more people on board with it just being me, but I feel like once I got a smaller group on board with me, then it would be easier for that small group to get even bigger and bigger than it just starting with me and trying to get a big group on top, or on my side at least. So I'm going to start out with the definition of abortion. So the definition is the deliberate, or the meaning termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. So this means that the mother deliberately walks into an abortion clinic and asks for an abortion. And within a pregnancy usually lasts 40 weeks. So an abortion typically happens within the first 75% of that abortion, or within that pregnancy. And within a pregnancy, there are trimesters. There's the first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. So abortions usually happen within the first 2 trimesters. As of right now, the laws regarding abortion state that in the United States, the country as a whole, abortion is legal. So abortion is allowed. Though there is what's called state regulation, which means each state has the ability to regulate how they feel about the law itself. Kind of like how with COVID, each state could kind of make up their own rules, so to speak, when it came to wearing a mask and things like that. But there is state regulation of the 3 trimesters of pregnancy. From the landmark in 1973, the case of Roe versus Wade, the first abortion case, was taken to the Supreme Court, where every state, it was legalized that every state had to have at least one abortion clinic within its state. Which, when you really think about it, is kind of a ridiculous law, because take Texas, for example, is such a big state. that to only have one abortion clinic within the whole state is kind of extreme. And states do this on purpose because they think it will help reduce the amounts of abortions that they get, because like people will not want to travel that far, or since it's just one clinic with so many people or such a big population surrounding it, that they won't be able to take in as many people to get the abortions they need, which will mean less abortions. Nowadays, many states are starting to bend these rules around the abortion and are starting to wither away the amounts of clinics offerings, and states are trying to make abortion illegal within their states. And this is all very recent, within the past year, actually, starting in 2020. So each state regulates their rules around this, and this can be considered a trigger law. There are 10 states that have this trigger law, which include Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Dakota, Missouri, Tennessee, South Dakota, and Utah. This trigger law is that they would automatically ban abortion in the first and second trimesters if the landmark case Roe versus Wade was overturned. Many states are reducing the number of abortion clinics in their state to make it more difficult for women to get abortions. This is their reaction, or this is what they're doing since they cannot ban the abortion clinics. Many states think that limiting the numbers of clinics will help reduce the number of abortions, but in reality it just means that women travel to unsafe, unsanitary locations just to get an abortion, and this puts them at great risk for injury or even death. And in the United States, at least 22,800 women have died in just 1 year alone as a result of complications to unsafe abortions, and 2 million to 7 million women each year survive unsafe abortion but sustain long-term damage. Many people, especially nowadays, debate, argue, and protest on whether or not abortion should stay legal or become illegal. Many of the people who think that it should be illegal say that it is like child abuse or murder of an unborn child. And also a big one is that religion, because in religion, abortion is not something that should happen. But what many people don't realize is that society used to be structured or based around a religion, and in the more present times, religion is less seen in society as a whole. So the top reasons that women get abortions is because they can't afford it, they have relationship problems and don't want to be a single mother, have health concerns with their fetus, it could interfere with their education, interfere with their employment, or they are teenagers. If these women who do not want to have their child for a logical reason were to give birth, that child would likely be mistreated, neglected, put up for adoption, or in foster care. The United States already has issues with all of these. 5,000 babies have been left at fire stations alone, and about 140,000 babies are put up for adoption each year. And that does not mean that they do get adopted. If some women were raped and got pregnant, they should have the right to abort that baby. I think that abortion should be legal if it is before the 16-week mark, because at 16 weeks, the embryo is now considered a fetus and a life, as it has fingers, feet, toes, and is taking the form of an actual baby. I do not believe that an abortion should be legal after the 16-week mark. I believe there should be at least one abortion clinic per city, not per state, and that they should have the right to their abortion. I can help my society by creating awareness, by creating social media posts, offering sex education classes. I think the government can help by making birth control for women free and by offering or putting more clinics in each area. And yeah, thank you.